Everything changes.
Julia O'Neill's father was the foreman of the crew who built the Rock Island Line from Des Moines to Minneapolis. He also fought in the Union Army in the Civil War, having to falsify his age because he was only 16. Julia's mother, Margaret Kinney, came to the U.S. at age 17 at the height of the potato famine in Ireland. She was put on a ship, all alone, never to see her family again. My guest today at the Iowa Falls Historical Society is Miss Julia O'Neill. Good morning, Miss O'Neill. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I was born in Raymond, near Waterloo. I attended Iowa Falls schools and graduated in 1889. Me mum and dad were born in Ireland, immigrants from the Great Famine. They came to America in 1850. Dad served in the Civil War and came to Iowa Falls in 1870, building railroads through Harding County. They raised 8 children. I always believed my immigrant heritage helped me relate to the railroad families and their children in Iowa Falls. I taught about 2,000 children in my career, some of them immigrants, railroad children, some children of freed slaves, and nearly all of them new to Iowa. They were all very bright in their own way, and I cared for them all, regardless of their background.
That's fascinating, Julia. Tell us a little bit more about your teaching experiences.
I taught school for 50 years in Douse, Popejoy, Burdett, and mostly the East Side schools in Iowa Falls, starting out at $40 per month and earning $60 per month after 25 years. I really love teaching. We came to Iowa Falls when I was 4 years old. We lived on Grant Street on the east side, across from the BCR&N depot on Hamilton. As an adult, I lived at 420 Rock, Sylvania with my sister Genevieve Riley and her 2 boys, Edward and Bill, after her husband died of influenza. I learned about children from helping with my brothers and sisters, and from the normal school training I received, some of it while still attending Iowa Falls High School. I began teaching immediately upon graduation. I was raised Irish Catholic, and before the church was built at 522 Sherman, the traveling priests often held Mass at our home. When I became interested in teaching a normal school training, Mrs. Ella Crapser, 15 years my senior, was a friend and mentor to me. She was a Quaker and also taught 50 years. I both attended and taught at the East Side Schoolhouse on Commercial Street, and taught at the East Side School building after it was built in 1920. Blanche Stoddard and I graduated together in 1889. She was 2 years older than I. We taught at the same time for the majority of our careers in Iowa Falls, but at different schools. Blanche also took time out from teaching for 8 years from 1912 to 1920 to be superintendent of country schools in Harding County.
Ina Paulson was born in the tiny town of Thor, Iowa. She grew up in Forest City, where she was valedictorian of her class in 1926. She attended Waldorf and St. Olaf's colleges and also attended the University of Iowa and UNI during her 40 years in teaching. Her first job was in Sway City, where she was only allowed to go home one weekend per month, so her salary would be spent locally. In those days, female teachers were routinely paid $100 less per pay period than male teachers, which was a considerable sum. When Ina arrived in Iowa Falls in 1932, she met and fell in love with fellow teacher and coach Howard Flower. Since female teachers were not allowed by the Iowa Falls School Board to marry, Ina and Howard were secretly married in Missouri in 1933. The secret was soon discovered, and Ina was fired. Because an adequate replacement could not be found immediately, and since Ina loved teaching, she was hired back at the discretion of the school board, at half pay. Other than time off to raise her family, she taught in Iowa Falls until her retirement in 1973.
I'll dedicate my life to this school.